Now, here's a phrase I'd never thought I'd hear myself say. Hashtag Maggi has become the top trending tag on Twitter today after the High Court ruled that the ban on the popular noodle was arbitrary and violated the principles of natural justice. Maggi noodles were cleared from the shelves in India after concerns about the levels of lead. Only yesterday, the Indian government launched a $99 million lawsuit against the food giant Nestlé for damages. Nestlé have always insisted their noodles are safe. So where does this lengthy legal spat leave the relationship between the Indian authorities and big business? For Ashwin Bhadri is CEO of Equinox Labs, which actually helps companies comply with food safety regulations. He joins us from our studios in Mumbai. Welcome to the programme. What did you make of this ruling when you heard it?
I think this ruling was expected because a company like Maggi takes a lot of care about its products. I think the bigger picture over here, which I think everyone should be worried about, is where did the lead come from if it was there in the first place? Because if lead was found, it's not that Maggi is adding the lead. It's coming from somewhere. It's coming from the soil. It's coming from water, right? So I think that's something that industry should be worried about. The law should be worried about that.
In terms of big business, I mean, how have they viewed this ban, first of all, then the lengthy legal battles that have been going on in the court? I mean, how do big corporations view what has been happening over the last few months?
All the big corporations, Indian and international, are very worried about what is happening because it impacts not just their food products but also their other non-food brands as well. Right, this kind of uncertainty or this kind of quick justice, or it wasn't even justice, the way it played out was, I think, pretty unfair for Maggi. I don't think they were given a fair trial before they were asked to destroy millions of dollars worth of inventory, and I think more than the inventory, what they lost was their loss of brand, which was horrifying. And if something this way can happen to Nestlé, which is one of the world's largest brand, then other Indian brands also, are worried about what's going to happen to them next.
Is it enough to perhaps put off foreign multinationals investing, building plants in India, do you think?
I think it definitely has slowed them in their tracks. Most large companies, international companies who come to India normally come through our company. We are one of the largest FSSAI consulting companies in the world. Most of them over the last 2 months have delayed their entrance into India. They're asking us to stall their applications. We have a lot of calls where they want to know what's happening on a day-to-day basis because nobody wants to put in millions of dollars, building plants, building infrastructure, if they are going to, if they have to worry about their brand being spoiled when it's actually not their fault. So yes, it is going to create a global impact, and it's creating an impact within India itself. I mean, Indian brands are scared to launch new products. They're double checking everything, which is good in a way, but innovation is going to slow down. Expansion in food companies is slowing down because of this.
I mean, the flip side, and yours is a company that offers guidance for other companies to navigate this whole system. The flip side is the Indian authorities can turn around and say, well, look, the system worked. We had a concern, we had tests, we took the product off the shelves, and now perhaps eventually they can go back on the shelves. I mean, the system works. That would be their argument.
I think it's a little bit more than that. I think where Maggi was wronged is they were asked to destroy product without government giving them adequate proof and without letting Nestlé present their side of the story. There wasn't a fair trial. If there was a fair trial, and if the government was 110% sure that every single batch of Maggi which existed had lead in it, then yes, then what happened is correct. But that's not the case because the same batches were tested within India in private laboratories, accredited laboratories. They were found safe. They were tested in United States, they were tested in Canada, Singapore, Australia, and they were found safe. It was only the Indian authorities that didn't find them safe, which is what is surprising.
Well, they have 6 weeks now to retest, and we shall watch what happens with that lawsuit as well. But thanks for joining us there from Mumbai.